Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Today, we'll explore the challenges in global freedom over the past decade, focusing on major political rights and civil liberties. Using the data from Freedom Index, we'll examine how countries have evolved in areas like elections, personal rights, and government transparency, particularly between 2030 and 2020. Let's dive in and see how global events have shaped these changes. Let's begin with the top countries with extreme electoral process score differences in 2030. In this chart, you can see the countries with the biggest differences in how free and fair elections are held. For example, Somaliland stands out with the highest difference, showing major issues with its electoral process, and countries like Guinea and Yemen uh, also have big differences with problems like corruption, media censorship, and restrictions on political freedoms. This example shows that some countries are still struggling with fair and free elections, while others, like Monaco or Maldives, have better and more transparent elections. In the box plot on the right, we show how transparent electoral process are related to the way of oppositions are treated. Countries like Nepal and Cote d'Ivoire are making progress towards free and fair elections, while countries like Yemen and Zimbabwe still face problems such as silencing opposition parties. This gives us clear idea of the challenges many countries have faced with democracy in 2030.
In our second part of analysis, we will be looking into the political pluralism and participation in the world from 2013 to 2022. The countries in focus we'll be looking at is Venezuela, Egypt, Libya. In Europe, we'll be taking Serbia into account, and in Asia, we'll be taking Afghanistan. In 2022, we can see the countries in focus have their democratic values or political pluralism sharply reduced. In Venezuela, it was in conjunction with Maduro coming to power. In Africa, for Egypt and Libya, it was because of Arab Spring, and Afghanistan because of the Taliban takeover. We will be looking into the Libyan civil war that happened in 2014, after which a sharp decline happened. One can see that the political independence, even though it wasn't there, but it sharply reduced out of the civil war and pluralism as well.
Now, moving on the third part of our story, let's take a look at the global decline with a focus on year 2018 to year 2021 and its impact on personal autonomy, electoral fairness, government transparency, and freedom of assembly. In the first visualization, we see global distribution of personal autonomy. The map shows different countries were impacted, with many nations in red indicating severe decline in personal autonomy, while green countries were less impacted. Notably, countries like China and several regions in Africa showed significant decline in personal freedom during this period. The line chart below provides a deeper look in the key areas: electoral fairness, government transparency, and freedom of assembly.
Over the past decade, global freedom has taken two very different paths. Some countries held firm, others moved forward, while many slipped further behind. At the top here, we can see how countries scored in 22. Germany, Italy, and the UK remained strong, holding steady as stable democracies. Meanwhile, nations like Madagascar, Bhutan, and Fiji made modest gains, signs of hope emerging. But South Sudan, Libya, and Turkey saw sharp declines where conflict, repression, and emergency powers eroded civil liberties. Now, shifting below, this year on year view shows how quickly things can change. Slovenia progressed with reforms, while Ukraine lost ground during war. Together, these two visuals reveal a deepening divide, freedom rising in some corners and falling in others. Now, the map on the left takes us back to 2013 when civil liberties were stronger across Latin America, Africa, and Eastern Europe. But the 22 map on the right shows that many of those gains have reversed, with countries like Belarus, Congo, and Benin losing ground. A decade apart, this contrast is clear. Freedom is fragile and progress is never guaranteed. The story is still unfolding and it's up to all of us to shape what comes next. Thank you.